Hello, and welcome back to Aldermark. We are fresh of a glorious victory against, I guess, first of all, Render, but I mean, we also have to give some credit to our officer this time for kicking ass on our secondary mission. So it can only go downwards from here, and that's what we're here for. I am Mikael. My pronouns are they, them. This is my channel. I don't stream anything else but this, but then also it is extremely fun and good, and I hope also if someone is watching that that you find it fun as well. We're gonna take a round around here, introducing everyone as per usual. You wanna start, Paul?
Yeah, sure. My name's Paul. I use he, him pronouns. I'm from London in the UK. And yeah, super excited about the mission coming up today. I think it's going to be weird and holy and mystic and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's going to be good. Pass around, Matthias. Would you like to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Matthias. I use he, him pronouns, and I play the role book of Marshall, so I get to decide who has to put their life on the line for these missions. But I don't choose the missions. The missions are chosen by the commander, who's played by Jim.
Yes, I'm the commander, and that means that if we succeed, all glory to the Legion. If we fail, it's my fault. So, folks that my full name's Jim Crocker. I use he, him pronouns. Folks that recognize me may be because I run a whole lot of games on the Gauntlet online gaming community and play a bunch of games as well. That's where Mikhail and I met. I'm really grateful he invited me to join in on this. I'm having an amazing time so far. This is the game that finally Forged in the Dark. I finally got it. And so I'm really grateful for that. I played some other Scum and Villainy, Blades in the Dark and stuff like that, but this is the game where it's really, I like something about it. I've really understood it. So I'm really happy about that. Folks that know me from outside the Gauntlet probably know me because I've been a retailer of games for many, many years. I'm in my office here behind me. You can see stacks of various games over my shoulders here. So
you could have tidied up if you knew you was going to be live on the internet, Jim.
No, this is actually fairly neat. Like everything's in alphabetical order and stuff like that. You can see we've got stuff lined up all together neatly on shelves behind me.
Yeah, so, I jest. It looks extremely tidy.
Yeah. So, like the boxes off camera are the things that that we're not that I've got off camera for a reason. So, but you can find me online. I'm on Twitter at Jim Likes Games. I've got a website, jimlikesgames.com, and a podcast called Just Played, where I do little recaps of game sessions that I've been a player or a game master, and you can find that on all your various podcatchers. And I just want to make clear that I enjoy this game enough that I am foregoing the first session of Gauntlet Con so that I can play in this game. I could have got into a pretty sweet game with a Rockstar GM, but I decided that I would rather be here playing with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to it. So we better do good today is what I'm saying.
We won't let you down, Commander.
Yes, Commander.
And with that, I will, one of the reasons that we will do well is because our supplies are watched over so ably by our quartermaster.
Hey, I'm Joelle Van Dyne. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm in charge of the virtual supply of snacks.
Bullets and snacks, yeah.
Bullets and snacks. We have horses now, also, which is always exciting. Yeah, at Dyne Joelle on Twitter. That's about it. Ready to get started. I'm hoping it's not some sort of dark portent that, Jim, you have like a box that says someone has died over your shoulder. But if it happens, it'll just be a little bit funnier.
Yep. So I thought actually, because last episode we ended on both a high, but also like a bounce back from some from a very bad mission, and also I guess there was some moral victory in that we brought back some people that died at the big battle at Mark Field. So I thought actually I wanted to start with a small free play scene. And seeing how, because last time Val brought back our one of the, it was that one Ember Wolf that died in the Battle of Etmark Fields. So I thought it would be cool to see how
his head anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean that's something to see how that might look. And I mean, I think do you have any? Because have you seen some like burial things before on screen? We haven't, right? Does any of you have any like ideas of how that might look like in the Legion?
I kind of imagine that each of the 4 cultures would have different approaches to that. It seems to me. Do we know what culture was that trooper from?
I think I'm gonna ask the table. Which one are you most interested in seeing? Is there any like any culture you want to like explore a little bit more? If not, then I'm gonna say I am a little bit curious about Panyar, because there's also some other Panyars in that squad.
So, considering who we're fighting, that might have had an impact on every culture's ceremonies, rituals surrounding death. Just want to throw that out there.
It's true.
Oh, that they might make alterations that, like, if you would normally do a sky burial, you wouldn't want to leave bodies laying around if, the Cinder King can come along and claim them or something like that. Yeah, I imagine that whatever local rituals we have would need to incorporate making sure that the body can't be, claimed as an undead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the question is that has everyone accepted that already, or are people still trying? Like, it's fine if you just bury them with like silver around their neck, then they can't be brought back, or like, right? What degrees are there? How much conflict is in there, or how much did maybe like the leadership of the Legion had to put their foot down and say, well, there's a practical reason we need to do it this way, and so now it's ordained, and there's like a heavy punishment on not doing it the military way because of the strategic or tactical danger it might mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be interesting with Panyar because maybe this isn't how it is in our game, but like in a lot of pop culture stuff, the way that you keep stuff from coming back as undead is you burn the bodies. And if you're from like a forest people, you maybe wouldn't want to be like consumed by fire when you're dead. I would imagine they like would probably want to be like buried and like returned to the earth and stuff like that, rather than going to the thing that like destroys forests.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess the question is if there is like conflict about that or not, because I imagine that probably there is like some kind of way of, I mean, people could come back, right? So that's probably like a pretty serious thing, and especially if it is someone of the Legion, it should be pretty demoralizing probably. So I guess that I would imagine that there is a way to try to avoid that. But is there a conflict about it? And what is the way that other like that? What is the like way that you should do it, or is it different ways?
Like I think for this, since it's just a head, I think we wouldn't be as worried about it, right? At least in this particular instance. But it might even be that just we, I mean, if we ceremonially remove the head of the body, then we can probably kind of do whatever we need to with it.
That's cool. So I think I'm going to frame a scene around that then. So I feel like since, in some ways, since the head was already severed from the body here, this is like an occasion for it to not be any conflict, right? So I imagine like there is this. I think normally it has been like that. Everyone present in the squad has when people bury soldiers, but maybe now I'm gonna ask you this openly. But maybe now, since there's not so many in the Legion anymore, it could also be all of them. What do you think?
I mean, I like the idea of keeping it quite intimate.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna do that then. Is there anyone who has anyone in the Ember Rules they want to play, or a specialist? I imagine probably Val could be a candidate here, and also maybe a Russet Raging Tempest. Given.
Well, was this one of the scouts killed on the mission that the cadre went on?
I don't.
No,
think
this is okay. This was from our first mission, right?
Yeah, that was the Grinning Ravens.
Okay,
who were wiped out.
Okay.
Yeah, this is from like the prologue.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the big battle where everybody died.
Okay.
Yeah, I think having Val in the scene would be cool. I could play her, but I don't mind if somebody else wants to get in there.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
Cool.
I think maybe also like the lore keeper seems like they might be involved in this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll play the lore keeper.
You want to play Violet Charging Tide, Jim?
Sure.
Do you have any favorites, Matthias?
Well, look.
Because you did play one of them last time, didn't you?
I played the baby, Meaty.
Yeah. You want to play her?
Sure.
Cool. So I imagine it is maybe like maybe it's the day after you. Maybe it's the evening when you came back. It's late. I imagine like there's the camp. I mean, you're not really. You're probably outside the city walls now, actually, because you're in Plainsworth. And I imagine maybe there's like this small grove there. I mean, there is some forest nearby, but it's not really a thick forest close, and you haven't gone like very far away from the city walls since it's just a squad. And there's like this tree there, and I think maybe Azure Surging Flood is like digging this hole under like with the tree with the roots. What is the thing that I'm going to ask you, Violet, while she's doing that? Is there like any ritual that you usually do when somebody dies in the Panyar like culture?
Yeah, I think isn't there a what do we have? Do the Panyar have some kind of like trinkets that they exchange with each other or something like that? Am I?
That's someone else.
Okay.
They have animal features.
Yeah.
And I think there was blah blah blah. And there's a thing here. They often take stones from ruins, reusing them into building construction. Like they reuse. They're recyclers.
Yeah. So if I am the Panyard that is there, part of the ritual is you take their stuff away from them, and it goes back. Like I think that we don't have a I kind of like the idea that we don't have this notion of like familial, like lineal inheritance. Like you die, whatever you own goes to the tribe, and then it gets, we were joking before about whatever, like our socialist mercenary company. But like I see that as more like it's like while you're alive, your stuff is yours. But once you're dead, you're not there to own it anymore. And so whatever tribal elders would, like if you have children and they can make use of it, probably some percentage, significant amount of it might be passed along. But there is but there's kind of a ceremonial, a marking of, okay, you've passed on, so these objects don't belong to you anymore. They belong to they're the Panyars now. And so I think I would be there to serve that ceremonial role.
Cool.
And even though technically like they came back as a head, whatever gear they had laying around, even if it's just ceremonial, even if like if it's like I put something there and then take it up in, like whatever, the letter they signed when they joined the Legion or something like that. However ceremonial that is, that act is important of saying you don't own anything anymore.
Cool. And I think like while this is happening, you see your chosen standing like in the background. And when the hole is finished and you start placing it down, she comes like walking towards you. Have any of you ever had like a conversation or anything with the Horned One? Does that ever happen?
I think the Lawkeeper has tried to engage the Horned One in conversation many times, like tried to sort of to prize kind of tales and stories like about about the Panya ways at them, but they've always remained like completely like stoic and kind of silent and like
yeah, they've seemed pretty private so far. So I think probably not. Maybe I don't know if they would have become a little bit more social once the scout we brought back was like their person, right? So maybe
yeah,
they were in a good mood after that or something. But so far they've always seemed kind of on the edge.
Yeah, and I think like you see on the sky, there is this. The moon is broken since the goddess of Nyx, the Panya god of Nyx, was turned, and you see like the light coming on her eyes, and she stops in front of the grave, and just says. Her name was Silver. Silver Dancing Glade. I remember seeing her in the forest once. She was dancing naked, howling at the moon. I thought that this must be Nyx's work, but I just think she liked to dance, and she like this slight smile on her face, and she like intently stares down at like the hole, and I think she bows down on her knees and like puts like this small piece of silver there, like almost, and you see like up on the moon, like it's the same kind of shade of silver, and gets up. And I think this is an opportunity if someone wants to do anything. Try it. I mean, the lore master might be curious.
Like Midi is like wide-eyed, like eyes puffy from the amount she's been crying. Wide-eyed, staring at the Chosen.
Yeah, I think Val's almost kind of the opposite. Like she forgets that this is like the Chosen, and she's been crying, and just kind of like smiles and wipes her eyes, and she's like, she used to dance at the campfire all the time just to amuse us. We thought she was wild. Because this was like her old squad, so I think Val's just happy to see somebody who knew her at all, because all the other Ember Wolves are like just rookies that are kind of, I mean, not that like they wouldn't really feel any kind of emotion, but like they're, I think, partially here because it's like the thing to do.
Yeah, Violet Charging Tide is holding that, and I kind of like the idea that literally, like, essentially it's like whatever version of dog tags that we wear, you know, like that's what she's holding, because that's what we have from this person. And she's kind of standing like a couple of steps back, just looking like a little uncomfortable. She's not crying, and not nervous so much as like she understands that she's here because she's in the squad, but she doesn't feel like it's super obvious kind of from the way she stands. She's not talking to anybody. She's being respectful, but this is not reaching her the same way it is the people that knew her. Have we established what her animal feature is? Violet Charging Tide?
No.
Okay. She's got like kind of curved ram horns that kind of come out of the side of her head.
Cool.
And is just like, you know, is like looking at the horned one, kind of glancing at the horned one, glancing at the other people, and I think not quite sure what to make of all of this. Like she is the, like, you know, the person that they've brought to represent the squad, but I like very clearly am not entirely sure why I'm actually here.
I think the horned one turns towards you actually and says, you know, the reason she earned the name Glade was that on the advance to Etmark Fields, she cleared one of Blighter's monsters just to save a deer. And then I think you see she starts like changing very quickly to a deer and like takes her snout and like pushes some of the earth into the hole and then runs off.
I just look confused. Like I'm supposed to know what that means, but I think I just don't. Like, just because I'm Panyar, she doesn't make any more sense to me than anyone else.
I think like the lore keeper will kind of step forward and like pick up like a handful of dirt of this sodden like aromatic like dirt, like fertilized dirt from the bottom of the tree. And as he leans forward and like tosses it into this hollow of the tree, he'll say, "Remember, fellow children of the forest, although we are Panyar, born from the forest are we as one. The thing that connects us more than our heritage is that we are all Legion. Remember that we are Legion first and foremost, and we will be remembered for our deeds and our actions in the hallowed annuals. This is what we strive for, not to be remembered for dancing naked around a campfire. We are here to be remembered for our heroic deeds, all in the name of the Legion." And he just throws the dirt down, turns around, and walks back to camp.
Cool. I think is there anyone who wants to add a detail?
Yeah, I do. You know I always do. I think Val just like it goes up to the grave and like she doesn't really know like any Panyar things to do, but she like kneels down and just kind of like pats the dirt down a little tighter, and then kind of once the lore master has walked away a little bit, she says, "I'd rather remember you dancing."
Oh.
Cool.
I love it.
I think that has to be seen. Nice. So back into the army action after that sweet, heartfelt scene right there. We are now at the campaign phase. We are in Plainsworth, and we're decided to stay for now. But still, time passes. So, Commander, you need to increase time and pressure by 1 each.
Oh, I didn't realize pressure increased automatically when we stayed. Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, no. Are we now fucked?
No. It just it changes the way I might think about which missions to tackle and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
So increased time by 1. We have filled our summer ends clock with that.
Oh. Well, I have some fun stuff to do then, and making an advance for our Brokens.
Yeah.
And I think we already know, I guess, which one is coming from Blighter.
Yep.
There's some gut sacks.
Oh yeah, exploding gut sacks.
Mm-hmm. And pressure which was at 0, I have increased to 1.
Cool. And then, Quartermaster, you must spend 1 food used to feed the Legion, or the Legion loses 2 morale.
I have spent a food.
How much food do we have, Quartermaster?
We have 3 more uses of food, but I'm thinking of trying to get some supply carts, which doubles the amount
okay.
that we can carry, or that every food store is worth.
Cool.
So
Mm-hmm.
right now we have 3.
Cool. And if we had more casualties last time, the Lorekeeper could have told some more tales. But fortunately, nobody died.
Mm-hmm.
So no story time for you, Paul.
No. Only 4 more people have got to die for another story.
Yeah, that's... we know that can happen in a session, so don't worry about that. Then there's the campaign actions. You want to take us through that, Quartermaster?
Yes. I just had some questions for the other command people. Who is going on the mission today? The main mission? Or
So, the main mission, we haven't talked about it on stream yet, or between us at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Maybe we haven't ever had a command tent scene or something like that, right? Is it maybe time for that?
could be cool.
Sure, let's do it.
So we actually have like this map that we have laid out on a big wooden table, like one of the few that exists, because they're heavy to log around and stuff.
Yeah. Can I put in a detail about that map?
Please do.
Like it was originally like, because we brought it out with us like on this campaign, and it was this map, and it was like embroidered on this on the finest quality, like all right silk, on this kind of golden kind of silk. But you know, it's been dragged through like all these like horrendous battles and just escaped, and now it's like covered in dirt. It's all ragged and frayed. You know, there's like big fucking rips in it and stuff. It looks a real mess now.
I bet there's like an actual assistant whose only job is actually taking care of the map. And
yeah, because this map is huge. Like it kind of rolls up, and it's like a roll of carpet on someone's back. It's like that big, you know.
Yeah. And they try to maintain it as best as possible, but through all the stuff the Legion's been through, it's just taken its toll on it, right? So
all the commanding officers are there, right?
Yeah. And what we need to decide basically is what our campaign actions are going to be, if we're going to advance or not, and then what the mission situation is, right?
I thought we already decided that we weren't advancing.
I'm just talking by the book, so it's clear. Like we can set that has already been decided.
Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Just by what the procedure is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Quartermaster Albrecht is never seen without at least one like notebook.
Did you just finished your recounting of what the situation is? Your inventory, basically. Wow,
yeah.
Inventory. Yeah.
And he's like, so where are we going next? Who's going out?
And the commander is there. She's got like not full armor on, but she's never without like at least like a like a mail shirt, and she's got a a big old sword slung on her hip at all times, and she has like a couple of people from her unit that go along with her, or whatever, like a couple of assistants basically, who like always have her armor like ready to put on her, and wherever she goes, whatever her horse is outside of whatever building she's at. So like they kind of, she's not, she doesn't walk out and hop on, but it is also like a page's job to make sure that her horse is never more than like, 10 steps away from her whenever she might need it. But she's here, and I think she tends to kind of step back and let each of you talk about what your expertise is. But if there's at any time, if there's any disagreement, or they look to her, she's got a, ready to go. She'll just make that decision like right then and there. So she's just, kind of arms crossed, relatively inscrutable, stoic expression on her face. Looking at the map, and
I think this is when Manipur also points at the map and says, might not be today, but we have a decision to make coming up ahead, don't we?
There are decisions every moment. What decision are you talking about specifically, Marshall?
The big one. Where we're going? How are we going to get to Skydagger Keep?
There are many forks in the road, and we can think about them. We should think about them, but not worry about them until we get there.
Well,
we have a mission.
We can push on for a bit more, but there'll come a time pretty soon when we also need some rest for the troops.
That's why we're going to stay here tonight. The information we've received about an ally that may be able to help, that's what we're going to focus on.
Yeah, how top secret is this Kingfisher stuff? And someone should do we all know about it? Or
you know what? Maybe this is where I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Like if we just step out of character for a second. So normally for a routine mission, it may even be that like if we're just doing routine missions, we don't all get together like this, right? We don't need to look at the map to know we're going to send somebody out to get horses or something like that. Even if we're going to assault somebody, that can be, we can kind of go around to each other's tents and, kind of do that way. But a staff meeting like this is, go ahead.
Maybe that's when you say that decision about which path we're taking, that will be a little bit further down. That's when Manipur looks up and is like, he's raising an eyebrow. So the questioning eyebrow. So why are we meeting here now? then why are we having this meeting, right? And I think that's probably perfect for you to introduce the very special, important thing.
And without a change of expression, I say, Lord Keeper, tell us what you know of the Kingfisher.
The Kingfisher. The Kingfisher is a legend, but he is also a man. Out of character, I don't know anything about the Kingfisher.
Make it up, brother. Here's your chance. I mean, I guess, we can, Mikhail, if you can give us a detail or two that helps Paul then flesh it out, that would be cool.
Well, we don't really know much about him except that his name is Vojislav Karyevich, and he's renowned for his skill in battle.
And that somehow he's corrupted and has isolated himself for that reason, right?
Well, he's said to be cursed.
Okay.
And has therefore retreated to be alone, pretty much.
Okay.
In the mountains close to here.
Yeah, Boris Karlovic, the Kingfisher, he's one of these rare things. He is a living legend. He is a man whose deeds have become epic tales that soldiers tell each other before entering into battle. He is renowned. Some say his skills in battle are blessed down from the gods. They're inhumans even. They inspire those around him. But some also say that with his divine gifts also came divine curse. The balance is always restored in the eyes of the gods, you see. So he has sequestered himself away in the mountain ranges, refuses to fight. But I know that if we could get and speak to him, he would join our cause. He could turn the tide against the Cinder King for us.
And I kind of nod curtly once, and I say, a scout has come to us saying that he knows where the Kingfisher has hidden himself away.
And this is where where Anthracite steps forward.
Yeah.
To like out of the shadows, having been capped at the back, not hidden for hiding's sake, just being kept at the back, and stands forward and nods.
Give them the report you gave me.
We were able to steal, or rather, funnel off the information. They had already known of his presence, and they value him highly. There's long correspondences that we found in Carlsberg. Now, the question is, can we get to him first?
We will have to. And if he cannot be convinced to join us, we must make sure that he cannot join the Cinder King, willingly or otherwise.
And Anthracite nods gravely, and like previously when we saw them, they were like they were wounded, they were dirty from that city, and being left behind enemy lines and stuff like that. So we didn't get too much of an impression of them, but now we do see that they have managed to scrounge up enough of some clothes and robes that make them look rather, like for the circumstances, rather well kept. And they also do not look like your common, ordinary scout or soldier type person. Like they don't look deadly. Like they don't look like they'll draw a knife on you or could take a punch well or anything like that. Yeah, so it's much more of a spy type than traditional like hiding scout like.
Cool. Is that scene, or we want to see the quartermaster things on screen as well?
Well, we need to decide about them, right?
Yeah.
And I think quartermaster had questions for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, but I can keep this pretty quick. That Manabur is, well, yeah. This sounds that sounds like the perfect mission for someone of Dame Aurora's caliber. She will accompany you and make sure you can find this legend. And I'll also make sure we've got our apothecary with you. So
How is he? He was just out, wasn't he? Is he ready to return to the field? Or is he perhaps feeling a bit stressed?
he's good. He's good to go. We can push on for a little bit more. When they return, and with them the rest of the ghost owls, then will be time. Then they'll need some respite. Yeah, I think that answers your question. What I'm playing on a meta level, or saying on a meta level, is we can do this one more round of missions, but then we should do some action to get rid of stress.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you really need much in the terms of like stress or wound rehabilitation here, right?
Yeah, it'll be more effective after next set of missions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure, because we do have two... I have two actions, I think, so, like...
Okay.
You
I
take
think that if you have spare like campaign actions, I think like the quartermaster gets like a note from like apothecary Emilio Orvos saying, "Dear quartermaster, please consider this like a formal request for more Blackshot to be released for my experiments. The Blackshot boom grenades are very near completion."
Yeah, that was my kind of what I was like
Nice.
between.
And I think he's signed it Apothecary Emilio Boom Orvos. He's calling himself like Dr. Boom now.
It's a call sign.
Yeah, Dr. Boom.
Yeah. I think the quartermaster brought the letter and is like, I hate to indulge this, but I think he is right.
Awesome.
Yeah, if we plan to be staying here also, I was going to search for assets, but I have to ask the GM what kind of stuff we can find in this area.
You can find anything. This is a city that's like fairly well stocked, but you have plus 2D to acquiring food or horse assets in Plainsworth. It is the Plainsworth was part of the Aldermark breadbasket, so there was a lot of resources like that before shit went down. It still is.
Cool. What does that mean? Like plus D, plus 2D, like 2 dice?
Yeah. More chance of good rolls. Which one do you want to do first? The long-term project?
Yeah, let's do the long-term project first. I believe that Amelia rolls for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So that'd be my research, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Should I roll for him?
Yeah.
Where is research? So research is 2. So do I get any extra? Is it any extra dice or anything? Or is it just a straight roll?
They roll an action, and I guess it's the same. I mean, if you want to, I can No, I mean, no, I think it's just a straight skill roll.
Okay, cool. Can I push myself for staying up all night? Like he's barely fucking slept. Like he's been working on this like all through the night.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that'd be 1 extra dice.
Remember, you
So
also
that's
expected
2
to
stress
go-
for pushing yourself, isn't it?
Remember, you also expected to go on the mission.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but he's definitely going for it.
And there are laborers that could possibly help you.
Cool.
That's
Oh,
only one
no.
tick.
That's just 1 tick. So I just got 2 stress for no reason. Oh.
I mean, it's a tick.
Okay. So how many ticks are left?
2 ticks out of 6. So we've got 4.
All right. I am going to try and acquire assets for laborers to help this along a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It says I send a specialist, but I think I roll.
The
Yeah.
operations asset rating, right?
Yeah.
Which is 2. Yeah, it's 2.
Okay. It's just a fortune roll, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
So 2.
Hey, rolled a 4.
4. So standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get some laborers.
Cool. And
So then you'll possibly have some more long-term things to do. It's cool.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll have some boom grenades next time. Well, that's alchemists, I guess.
I think they can work on like any project. Alchemists do. I think they can work on that kind of stuff, but they also like are kind of like magical mercies. Like they can cure arcane diseases, which I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, sure. I'll also, since we're now getting them, I'm gonna look it up until next time.
I don't want to know what that means.
yeah.
Let's not
Cool.
find out.
So then our legion doesn't advance, because that's what we decided, and we already made the mission. So let's assemble. Also, do you know who's going on the secondary mission?
I don't even know what the secondary mission is because we've got 2 options there.
Yeah.
Second, I'm going to take the supply mission as our secondary mission.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Rescue supplies.
Yep.
That sounds good. Let me check.
And should I, since we are passing on the mission that has the penalty of pressure, should I go ahead and add that pressure now?
No, we'll do that afterwards.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Rusted Raging Tempest will. Yes. I think Rusted Raging Tempest will take the. What kind of supply mission is it? Like, what are we going for?
It's a rescue supply, so it's probably like some, there's a farm somewhere, or there's something like that.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say. Question: are we getting horses for this? Do we like
Is the
Quartermaster
quartermaster spending horses?
for a supply run?
Do we decide that just before we roll it?
It kind of affects who I'm sending.
Okay.
That's why the marshal is asking. Do we have horses to spare? If I'd like to send the Shattered Lions or cavalry.
What?
To be swift about this. Right, we get. Oh no, that doesn't really apply here, anyways.
Maybe it's time to see the new Ravens. I mean, they're locals after all.
Yeah. Our scout will take Rusted Raging Tempest will take the new Ravens. They said they knew where there are some hidden stockpiles that the undead will soon roll up. Let's get them before it's too late.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for them to prove themselves with a nice, easy supply mission in the local area.
Yeah, I bet Russet is cursing of this assignment. I'm getting sent alone with the newbies. Damn it, Marshall, you don't like me. I'm sure of it. Okay, cool. So then we'll assemble the engagement roll. Before, actually, we have still one intel question that you can ask, Commander.
Oh, that's right. I get 0 level intel questions. That's right.
Oh, you still get to ask one even with 0 intel, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Engagements, Marshall. If you hold +0 plus intel, ask one of the following questions. And this is for our main mission here?
Whichever you want.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I'm curious. This is actually a mission where we can get, like, if there's favor on the line for this mission, right?
For the special mission, yes.
For the special mission, yeah. How does our chosen feel about it?
That's a good question. I like it.
Yeah, that is a good question. So what favor is it? I think that actually I think that the Kingfisher survived an encounter with Render, and I think that I think it's before. I think that the chosen the Horned One, they think that getting the Kingfisher is like a nice way to put Render off tilt. He'll be so pissed if the Kingfisher starts to will join the Legion.
Okay. Excellent.
Nice.
Cool.
So, main mission.
So who are we sending on this holy mystic?
So on the holy mission, the Marshal is sending Aurora Loprio as the one in charge. She's an officer. Anthracite Sweeping Calm, who's the one who's hopefully going to be able to convince the Kingfisher to rethink his life choices. And also sending the apothecary.
That's Dr. Boom to you.
Dr. Boom. But more in the sense of the doctor, hopefully, this time. Like, if someone is seriously hurt, or if the Kingfisher needs medical attention, that can be insured. That's the idea there.
Yeah, I like a little scene with Emilio speaking with the Marshal. It's like, I've got it, Marshal. More doctor, less Boom. You can count on me for this one.
Please. And the Ghost Owls, and specifically I want to have Liable Emilinovna being played here. So we decided I'm supposed to say who plays what. Is that correct? Okay. Well, because I made her, then I'll play the first time we see her. Aurora. I do want Paul to play Anthracite though. And I think Liable for Jim, and then it's the Please More Doctor Than Boom for Joel, if that's all right with everyone. And we're going to go for a break anyway, so if we want to switch around, we can talk about it. But that's my heavy suggestion. Okay.
Cool.
So the engagement role for that is are all on the mission oath sworn to the Legion? I think yes, right? That's our one die. Did the commander spend one intel to give you foresight and info? Don't have any, right?
Nope.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? Nope. Does any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
Nope.
Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission? No, we've got a required specialist for a religious mission there. And for a religious mission, also asked Arcane, did the quartermaster send religious supplies to ward and protect the legionnaires?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm looking for this. This is like you're gonna be the Exorcist episode of Band of Blades here.
Yeah. Only there's one more question. Is any legionnaire starting with Blight? And I think Anthracite is. I think that was a devil's bargain, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's only one.
Have a look. Yep. Yeah. Start with one Blight.
Do you have corruption or do you have blight?
Blight. The whole Blight.
They've
rot.
They've got rot. Yeah.
Do we have to send him?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I also want to maximize on the reward here.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready for that roll?
So ready. What could go wrong? One dice.
Oh, desperate position.
Yeah. Good thing I was thinking about what is desperate before this.
Cool. Okay. Shall we take a break then and come back in a desperate position?
Yeah, we'll be back in 10.
Yep.
Great.
Oh, wow.
And we're back in a desperate situation. So I imagine I'm just gonna frame the scene here right away and put you right into this bad spot that you're in. I'm gonna put you at the place. So it's a bit of a travel going there. You've been at least like a day, and it's a day and a half maybe. It's in the mountain.
Before you, I don't think we all decided on what load we took, and we probably should do that before you give us any more details.
That's true. Good call there.
I've picked all of Leovel's stuff. We did that during break. I filled in his rookie abilities and picked his load. I've got him at a normal load. I don't think we're necessarily trying to sneak, and we're not necessarily expecting to run into any great big abominations or anything. So he's just got a regular load. Like I'm outfitted like a soldier. I've got armor, a hand weapon, tents and gear, and and I picked Jack of all trades. He's a little better rounded than some of the other rookies.
Cool. What about the rest of you? What are the loads?
Everybody gets a free reliquary because I spent religious supplies. So just everybody knows.
It's gonna come in handy.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm looking it up, but maybe Paul can just answer for me. What are the tonics? Should I be loading up on those?
Oh, tonics. Yeah, tonics. You use tonics. They're basically what you use to do first aid. So each use of a tonic is one use of kind of first aid. But I don't think he's got the first aid skill, actually. Yeah, so that probably won't be too useful.
All right.
I think you use the doctor skill instead. Yeah. So I wouldn't bother too much about tonics.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm normal with a shield.
Okay.
I've
shield.
got winter clothing and a compass and maps.
Cool. Anthracite is going to be normal, but they've actually got one of their Panyar heritage traits is Traveler, which means that they are still fast and quiet when in normal with normal load. So that actually gives me a fine reliquary, and I get normal reliquary as well. I'm dual wielding reliquaries.
What is the fine reliquary actually? Those are usually like some kind of thing from like some chosen or something like that.
Yeah, can I think about it and I'll kind of
Sure.
bring it out in play?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, excellent.
Cool. So and well, after like this, I think it's in the evening when you come to this place, and it's where the Kingfisher Knight is residing is a shrine to the hunter god of Aldermark. What was the name again? But anyway, it's like this. There's it's in between. It's in like a small valley, and there is this small lake there. It's very small. I think maybe you could. If it's a lake or a pond, that kind of small, and there's like this. There's basically like this small shrine there, which is like a big block of rock standing on like 2 feet of rock. Like it's basically a big stone table, and it signifies like this place where you do your parting of the animal after you kill it. And there's like this small wooden house on like the side of this pond, which I'm not now calling a pond because that's definitely what it is. It's not a lake.
Yeah, well, the difference between a pond and a lake is that a lake is a body of water that's deep enough that it has a part where sunlight can't reach it. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be big, but it's got to have a part that's deep enough that if you go down there, no sun actually can get to the bottom.
Yeah, so I think it's a pond.
Yeah,
it's like it's big enough for someone to like submerge yourself in, but it's not you don't go diving there.
Yeah.
And as you come there, I guess did you do any like what did you expect? I'm gonna ask who's it's Dame Aurora who's in charge here, right?
Yeah.
What did you expect? How did you like prepare? Did you do any?
So we're approaching this whole east side with the ghost owls being called out to fan out and to secure the area as basically us four approach it. So because we've already got two soldiers, the ghost owls are fairly autonomous and independent and kind of know what they're doing, and they're covering those two flanks, and with Livel in tow, I'm bringing Anthracite and Emilio up towards the holy site.
Yeah, I think Anthracite would be kind of traveling, like it would be moving like a little bit in front of everyone, like on point, like kind of watching out for kind of ambushes, things like that.
Yeah, so you're going a bit in front.
Yeah.
Here's my question:
Yeah, like,
how obvious is your blight for us? Like, we've been traveling with you. What do you know of this rot that you're suffering under?
I think that only one person in this squad knows, like, that I have this blight. I've been hiding it, I think.
Okay, and which one is it?
Wow.
Is it live?
I don't know. I'm going to put it onto the table. I'm going to say, who is it? Who has seen? Because it's basically rot, and it's basically like this. It's kind of creeping up the side of their neck, where it's like their skin is just like kind of going all kind of withered and starting to turn kind of black, and like necrotic. So Anthracite is taken to tying like a kind of scarf like around their neck that they don't normally wear to like cover this up. So who is it? Who's maybe seen this necrotic rotting flesh on my?
I feel like it's got to be the rookie.
Yeah, I like that too.
And like I just completely separate from this, apropos of nothing. I took the Zemyati trait loyal. And so is this a thing where this is what I'm curious about? Like, kind of metafictionally or whatever, like player wise, do you know that I saw it? Or did I like catch a glimpse of it when your back was turned? And I know, but we haven't had that, like, you look at me to see what my reaction is or what?
Well, I think that you saw it like this morning when we were breaking camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think maybe it's taken us a while to get to this point, and
Sure.
Like you saw me maybe you saw me like bathing in one of the like this morning. Yeah.
So then does that mean that Amber and Adakar didn't tell you about it? Because they would have known. Because they saw the whole cat tongue thing.
But maybe they here's the questions: would they have known? Like, do they have that much of an understanding of it? Or if they'd see it, would they be able to make the connection only then? Which, like,
So,
it could be both or either.
like we don't have anybody playing them right now, so I'm totally
Yeah.
cool on, like, we can leave that till
Yeah.
later. Like, I didn't know. Like, if they knew, they didn't tell me. You know, if they didn't
Yeah,
know,
cool.
they didn't know. If they knew but didn't think it was a big deal, you know, or whatever, never got around to it. If they didn't want to say something for fear that the, you know, he would overhear them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering for like group stuff later.
Yeah. That's cool.
It might be an
So I
interesting
think
conversation later.
so. I think this morning, Jim, when Leovel like saw me, I literally like all I got was like 2 seconds with you. I just kind of like grabbed you by your lapel and just went, "Keep this to yourself," and got dressed.
And you grabbed me, you said that, and I just, like, without blinking, I looked at you and said, "Keep what to myself, sir?"
You'll go far in this Legion, Ricky.
Yeah, and I think I know exactly what this desperate situation is. So you see Voyis, he's like kneeling in front of this altar, and there's like this animal on it. I think like some kind of mountain goat or something like that. And there's like blood running down as he like cuts it up. And I think like since it is a desperate situation, I'm going to say that probably as you're approaching there at the site, he just like turns around and you see like this big man. He has long like dark hair, and you see he has like this cloth armor and a huge sword on his back. Probably why it's called the Kingfisher. And like the Semyati dagger on his belt. But despite this big man being like, I imagine, a bit of a mountain of a man, he moves like with his quickness, and before you get to react, he like has the knife at your throat, and he says, "You would be a mercy killing, you abomination." What do you do?
I think yeah, I know. Like I can feel like the power in like his arms as he's got me. It's like there's no point, you know, there's no point struggling or fighting about this. He's like 3 times the size of me, you know. So I'm gonna appeal. I'm gonna appeal to his. I'm going to appeal to the fact that, because I can smell it. I can smell the rot on him as well. So I'm going to say, don't I'm like you. I'm touched by the blight as well. We've come here to help you.
Oh yeah, this is so desperate. You don't even know.
Yeah.
What are you rolling here?
Oh, I'm riding my sway.
Aurora's lowering her drawn sword and chucks it in like point first into the earth in front of us, and doesn't really pay attention to whatever Anthracite is mumbling under their breath. She just looks straight at the Kingfisher and says, "That's my legionnaire. Let him go. And I want to assist you."
Yeah, and I think I'm going to add a detail here, actually. So I don't think the Kingfisher literally has corruption yet, but there's definitely something going on. I think like you see that like the blood running down from his mouth as he's been eating like this animal raw.
it's like a shadow, something that clings to him. That's not in him, though, right? It's like something like a companion he can't shake off or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna roll with that, and you hear as a response to what Aurora said. He just like looks up and says, "You hear what you said? I'm gonna kill him." Okay, you roll.
Yeah.
I think this is just standard desperate. You do it or you don't. But if you don't, he's gonna cut your throat.
Can the rookie help with this too?
It's only one assist usually.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get devil's bargain?
You can like be jumping in a moment, maybe.
Yeah. Can I suggest a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can the devil's bargain be that that Dame Aurora like sees like this like rot like creeping up my neck? As I say, like, you know, I'm just like you.
I think if I'm gonna take that devil's bargain, then I'm gonna say that everyone does, and the rookies are terrified of you.
Yeah, put your bloody fingerprints all over it. Yeah, I'll take that definitely. So that's desperate standard. Plus one dice. Oh, here we go. I rolled a 5. Partial success.
Okay, so what is it you're succeeding here? What did you want to achieve?
Just to buy myself a little bit of time. Like, you know,
remember where you said if he doesn't do it, he cuts his throat.
Yeah. But yeah, just to get him. I'm just trying to get him to know that we are not a threat. You know, just to buy me a bit of time, so we can talk with him.
Cool. So I think okay. So I know how this looks like. I think he like for a moment he just like looks at you, and you see he like turns his dagger around quickly, and then he looks like in the horizon, and he says, "You brought them here."
Yes, my squad mates, the the ghost owls, my legion mates, they've come with us. We're here to help.
No, not them. The spirits.
We brought the spirits? What are you inflicting on my legionnaire? Aurora points to the obvious rot.
He takes down his dagger, and so what the consequence is here is that there is some kind of corruption in this place, and I'm gonna say, because it's he's one. I think you can spread for corruption among yourself as you please.
Ooh.
I think you don't take one anthracite because you already have corruption.
I was gonna say I'll take it all.
Okay, well, sure. Let's do that then.
You know, I'm there at the epicenter of the corruption.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I did bring it with me. I'll happily take it.
Why?
Okay, if you want to.
We have reliquaries.
Well, so how this? I mean, I kind of like it though. So what you see is that there's like from I think from the like it almost looks like from the blood of the on the table behind. It like seeps down as it drips on you. You see it like absorb into your skin, and you see like the blackness coming up your arms, and yeah, I think you feel like this enormous pain for like a second, but then you feel like how does taking corruption feel like? That's happened to you before.
Does he get any opportunity to resist this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, can you still resist?
Yeah. You also have a fine reliquary.
Like if we split it between the four of us, we've each got reliquaries, and we can just suck it into the reliquaries, and none of us has to actually take any corruption.
Mm.
And we can also resist.
You could, but I think it's established now in the fiction.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he wanted it.
Okay. Yeah,
but you can resist it. Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah, I want to resist it. I think I think I've got this this fine reliquary which is around my neck, and it's a what is it?
It starts screaming.
Yeah, I think it's Oh my god, yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. It's like a little it's like a small kind of glass vial with like a little stopper in it, and it's got this like desiccated like bird's beak in it. And this was like the it was like supposedly like the mouth of like of one of these chosen of the Panyar chosen that took the form of like a bird, and it's this little sort of desiccated like bird's like beak.
Awesome. So by using the fine reliquary, you automatically reduce the corruption by 2.
Yeah,
and you can resist.
Yeah, I'll do that for 2. So I think like my hand goes to this like thing, and I crush it in my hand. And this bird beak just starts screaming like ah, ah, ah. Wow. So how do I I want to resist that. I don't want to take all that.
Sounds like a
Resolve.
Yeah, resolve probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So no bonus dice. Oh no, I rolled a 6.
That's
so
good.
6 stress. Is that good?
No, that's
6
0 stress.
Yeah. It's 6 minus the thing you rolled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the reliquary.
Gets 1 less use.
Yeah.
Yeah, helps to spend to reduce.
Yeah, so I think
corruption.
actually you don't take any, because it's a fine reliquary. I don't think normally if you resisted this you wouldn't be able to resist all of it, but because it's fine, I think you do. And I think this still happens. Like this blackness still happens.
Does it
But
seep into the ground?
maybe it like how does that thing look around your neck? Is it like tight, or is it like a loose kind of thing?
What are you talking about? You're talking about the
reliquary.
Yeah, it's on just a piece of like, unassuming twine like around my neck, and I have it like hanging down like in the folds of my thing.
How do you use it?
Like I said, I hold it and I crush the glass, so the glass kind of sticks into my hand, and this kind of this slightly black tinged blood like comes out, and I've got like and then I open my hand up, and that little desiccated like bird's beak is just squawking like in my face like that. Ah!
Oh yeah, cool, awesome. So I think you see like this for like a second it like burps out like this black goo, and it continues squeaking for like a second and then stops. And I think Voyes he like looks at you with like curious eyes a little bit for a second, and then like, what is that? How did you do that?
It's a reliquary. it takes the blight. It takes the blight and channels it like a lightning rod for corruption.
What happened to you? And so that even though you have that thing, you're rotting. How much corruption what did you face? How are you even alive?
I reached deep within myself and knew that I had to keep going. I had to keep going. I couldn't give in to that corruption because my destiny, Kingfisher, was to come here and to save you from the very same corruption.
It was Anthracite Sweeping Calm who found out you were here, who found out that you're also in grave danger and you're being hunted. And we are hoping we're coming in time. I want to sway him to, like, probably, I don't know, with Anthracite together, maybe? I want to sway him to be like, okay, let's calm down. We can talk about this.
Okay. I'm out of character. I feel like I've had a lot of the focus of the scene kind of been on me, so I kind of like to pass it off onto other characters to do stuff.
Yeah, I think when he says that, the rookie steps up and kind of like looking at the rest of, like, kind of like indicating the rest of his squad and says, we've heard stories about you, sir, and I think I speak for all of us when I say we would much rather have you fighting with us than have to fight against you when the Cinder King comes for you.
Oh, wow. Can I ask, like, what does Dame Aurora, like the officer, think of this rookie just like stepping forward and like taking like negotiations into their own hands?
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
I have a question for Paul. When you made Emilio, did he take the mark of the healing god?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He deliberately didn't take it. I don't know why, for a reason, but there is a reason for why he didn't take it, which is up to you to kind of decide or bring into play.
Okay, I was just thinking like that could be like a good way to be like, we're cool, because that it comes with like certain oaths that like you won't abandon anybody who can still be saved and stuff like that, but you don't have that.
Yeah.
You'll abandon anybody. But
this sounds a bit like a group action to me. So if you wanted to put Emilio into this, you could. Well, what do the rest of you think? I think because you all seem to be kind of swaying.
I'm trying to lead a group action of swaying the Kingfisher to, okay, let's de-escalate this. Let's get this back to a controlled position, then we can talk about what we are going to do, actually.
Is Dr. Broom participating? Dr. Broom is Emilio. Is he...
Yeah, sorry, I thought you said the group. No, yeah, he's participating.
What is what is his contribution here? What is he saying? And feel free to ask for details if you need them or want them.
Yeah. I think he kind of is jumping in sort of with the more alchemical side, I guess. Like, and, you know, we have started off talking about like how we have ways to deal with this with like the religious artifacts, like how the reliquaries could help. And then I think he's also trying to be like, we also have science. And
Awesome.
can help that way.
All right. So I'm looking.
Yeah, and this is Sway. So
What position are we in now?
I think you're still risky.
Yeah.
Because he definitely doesn't trust you still. Not more really after what happened with Anthracite being.
Yeah. But he's not about to just like murder one of us like straight out, is he?
Yeah.
Like,
risky means we can get hurt.
yeah.
So
It
harm
does.
is on the table.
But he's not
Sure.
cutting your throat.
No, he's not about to kill one of us in the next moment.
But yeah, and I think so.
And effect.
I think it's standard, and I'm making a 4 o'clock to convince him to come, and then you might still have a problem with his curse.
Yeah. So standard means we get this clock. Or do we already pay onto the clock?
2. You get 2 on the clock.
Okay, don't roll yet. We haven't even decided. Like, there's still stuff to
Sorry.
negotiate. Kind of.
Sorry.
Or we just roll and leave it at that. Because we already have a roll on the table then. Let's do that.
No, that's fine. Can take that off.
Mikael.
So yeah,
Should
no,
we just roll it?
both are fine. I don't. It's. I mean, it's
So clearly, one of the things we need to do is establish a little bit of table culture here
Yes.
about whoever's leading the group action, like say, and now we roll or something like that, just to make sure that we all know.
Yep.
That's all. Like the negotiation is all over, and we can go. Can we agree to something like that?
Yeah, cool. Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So also I wanted to, but yeah, it's no, you can just go ahead and do your rest of your negotiation here. So I also wanted to ask something fictional, but you can go and do your thing first.
Yeah, because I think actually in this situation it is almost more appropriate that after having said this and the others chiming in, that Aurora steps forward, walking past her sword in the ground, like leaving that behind, stepping up to the Kingfisher and extending a gauntleted hand, and pushing that situation back to desperate, but the standard to great.
Cool.
Right? And putting me potentially in danger here.
Yeah.
Well,
what kind?
and for sight as well, I guess. Both
Yeah.
of them. I love it. So this is like that kind of the classic kind of scene, like with a hostage. You know, you got the hostage with a gun to their head, and you kind of step forward, like, "Hey, come on, let's talk to us." Yeah.
What kind of leverage do you have here? Because you're swaying, right?
Yeah. So sway.
What are you offering?
Sway someone with charm, change attitudes or behavior. I mean, right? I'm offering that we've come here with information and to save him because something is hunting him. And the undead know about it, and we're passing by. This might be the only chance to get away. And we're also offering science, right? We might be able to do something about any predicaments we've got going on. And obviously, we just proven that. Look at Anthracite, who was just able to, like, it wasn't pretty and wasn't nice, but it was able to put away that corruption.
Do you actually think you can save him? In your heart of hearts?
Aurora's not even like Aurora's way too straightforward for that. Like, it's corruption is everywhere. That's a thing you live with. It's a thing every human being has to contend with. So
I kind of love the idea that she thinks he's being a little precious about it.
yeah,
That he's just being melodramatic.
this is
Yeah,
religious.
And it's
stuff.
like, yeah, your life sucks. All of our lives suck. Get over it. Yeah, that's...
And if it's really real, then it will manifest as the shadow, and then we kill it with fire and sword and steel, right? Like
Awesome.
we've always done. Like,
I don't know if.
Yeah.
Sorry. After you can go first.
Because
I just had something that I thought might help.
so Aurora Aurora has lead from the front, and that's her thing. She has points and discipline, and that's how she conducts operations. Like, she's not the one who's going to be given like the whole entire left flank on a battlefield to command that. She's given like, okay, here's one task. This is super important. You've got 4 elite soldiers with you. You need to achieve that in this battle. That's the kind of soldier she is. Like, I don't have any points in martial. I've got 2 points in discipline. That's her leadership style.
Cool.
Yeah. I was wondering, even just for like fictional stuff, I took books and scrolls, so maybe some of the leverage could be like the way that we found out about the Kingfisher's position was we had correspondence from Render's troops about the Kingfisher, so maybe that could be like the scrolls that I brought to be like, we didn't just hear that you were being hunted, like, we can prove it, kind of thing.
And see, you know why this situation is desperate? Not only because he might misunderstand me and, I don't know, like, attack me with that hunting knife. It might also be that whatever curse is there is way, way worse and, like, straight go for me. So I think that's also what makes it desperate. So is everyone ready to roll?
Can we, when we're doing a group action, can we push ourselves to add dice to the group action when we make our own rolls?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's sway. We all have to roll sway, though. It needs to be the same one. And I don't think anybody did a thing that was more of an assist. It's all the same action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So desperate, great. Okay, we're ready to roll. Then, 3, 2, 1, let's roll. Wow. That's so many sixes.
Wow, holy shit, that's like 5 sixes.
So even before those 5 sixes, yeah, but that's a crit because when I've got lead from the front, whenever you lead a group action, improve scale up or down 1 level. If you lead a group action, oh no, that's actually only in combat. So this isn't in combat. So very nice that you roll those 2 sixes. So I think it needs to. I think this needs to be maybe the Kingfisher looks between all of us, and then his gaze comes to rest on Lionel, who's like,
the upstart.
Yeah,
and not just that, but I specifically wrote him up as pale, beardless, flaxen-haired, lithe and wiry with an infectious grin. Like he is kind of a cutie patootie, right?
We brought both extremes on this.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah. Like he is just like charming, smiling, and he's got I put 2 in sway for him, so he and like I think he's also, I think he gets out of trouble by smiling and shrugging and winking at people. So
Yeah, I know exactly what happens because you're also Semyati, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
I think he like looks over at like you one by one, and his gaze like ends at Liavel, and he I think he just walks over to you, and it's like this. He doesn't have like this big armor or anything. It's also a reason why he was so quick. He just wear like padded armor, so just like thick clothes basically. And he takes his hand like on your shoulder. How do you react to this? Are you afraid?
No, I'm kind of fascinated. Like I think that like I am kind of happy-go-lucky, I think. Like, you know, that kind of like if the Zemyati have that kind of like you know, a sort of like a Viking sort of feel to them. I feel like someone who's gonna like end up as like a skald or like a bard or something like that, right? You know? And he puts his hand on my shoulder and I kind of look at it and like, you know, there's that second where I kind of like look at the hand and then like my eyes go up and look at him and like what's like, is he smiling? Does he say anything? What is the
Yeah, he's I think he's like very serious and looking a bit like grim for like this first like half a second. You look at him and then he just like starts laughing. You remind me of this dumb dead friend of mine.
And I say, and I'm, you know, and I start to laugh with him. And I say, someday I'll be the one, but I hope to not always be the other.
And Aurora's just staring slack-jawed still with like one hand extended, looking at the rookie like...
Yeah.
Emilio's like, I didn't think I did drugs before this. But...
Yeah, and I think he like... I mean, he ignores all of you for like this moment that he's having with Liavel, and he like he says, I mean, this dumb friend of mine, and he like holds his dagger again in his belt. I had to kill him when he succumbed to the corruption. He was a brave man, just like you. And I think he pauses for a little bit, and he says,
yeah. And during that pause, like you can literally hear Anthracite like just gulping, like realizing how close they were to having their throat slit.
And so and like we've established that the Zemyati are like do blood oaths like that, right? I think is the thing we've done, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I reach down and I like just, you know, like snick a little thing across my thumb, you know, to get a little blood, and I say, I pledge to be your dumb friend, and I hold my hand out.
And I think he like looks down at your thumb and like smiles a little bit, and he says, "Well, you're not gonna get away with that. If you don't succeed in curing me like you promised, then you know what you have to do. Will you promise that?"
And I smile and say, only a dumb friend would promise such a thing. Only the dumbest of friends would promise such a thing.
Yeah, and I think he like takes his thumb as well and like cuts it and takes your hand. Well, you're my dumb friend then, my new dumb friend. And he like smiles.
Yeah, and I laugh along with him at how ridiculous this whole thing is.
Awesome. How do the rest of you react? I think it turns like to you now, and it's like, and it like looks at you. Like I guess I think the hand's still on Yavel's shoulder. Is there any immediate reaction? If not, I think he says like, well, what you gonna do to get rid of this curse then?
Yeah, Aurora is dumbfounded. And just staring and seeing Livel in a new light as well at this. And also the curse is not her business. So if no one else steps forward, but I'll leave that if the other two take a moment, or take this moment too.
Yeah, I think Anthracite, it's like we have ways that we can remove this corruption. It's not right now, but there is always hope. Like there's always. I know there is hope for me, and there is hope for you. Come with us, and we can work on this together.
I think we've got him convinced, right? Because that crit fills the clock.
Yeah, you do, but I think he reacts to that and says, "No, I'm not coming anywhere until you lift this curse. You deal with it now, or I'm not coming."
I look at over at Emilio. And I want to do a flashback here.
Okay.
And it might just be, in this moment, it might just be a flashback to like a day or two ago, to only a conversation. We'll see if it actually will involve a role. But I want that conversation a day or two before, where maybe the rookies are packing up camp and we're like looking out over towards the mountain that we're now closer at. That what we know is part of the valley. And she says to you, and anybody of you can like be part of this conversation as well. This is not in secret. This is just the hook for the conversation. So what do we do if that rumor or of that curse is true?
I mean, there's got to be a way to lift it, right? It's hard, but it's been done before.
How do you lift a curse? An out of character question, maybe this is a bit of world building. Is this like...
In the book, I've seen things like that as long-term projects. But...
No, I think... I mean, if you pay some stress for this flashback, I think you can just establish how it is. I'm going to say if you're going to establish how you lift curses, then it's going to cost cause a stress.
Then I'm willing to flashback the flashback and spend my channel and say that so we can do an acquire asset for having brought something specifically holy from Plainsworth, from the temples of Plainsworth, to this mission, which can get like, it's not the complete thing. It's not like, oh yeah, you trickle this on someone and the curse is lifted. It's like that's the key that gets it started. For else what we need to do or might need to do. What could that be though? Because I think that's when I pull it out, right? What I've got, will this help?
How about a reliquary, but it has to contain something taken from a living chosen?
So that's what I'm pulling out with my with as an asset. I mean, we probably should still roll the acquire asset thing for that if I spend my channel.
I'm sorry, what is your channel?
Channel is the special from the... You know how the top one and inside is always a special thing?
Yeah.
And for officers, it's channels. You may spend channels uses to acquire an asset for your squad in a flashback. Roll sway to determine quality. You can spend additional uses to improve the quality as per your supply rules. So
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that you can't get rid of a curse. You can only point it at something else, right? Like we can't make the curse go away, but if we can like trick the curse into pointing its wrath at, something that is not the Kingfisher.
Did I acquire the banner that we won last time, basically from the battlefield?
The banner of Render.
Yeah, or that squad of his, or something like that.
Black Oak Knights.
Yeah, Black Oak Knights banner.
That's cool. Sure.
I guess I roll sway to determine this quality now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fine quality.
Yeah, so I think not to make this too confusing with the flashbacks in the flashback. I think you got this from the Horn one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Like on the day of departure or the evening before, you take this, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm gonna break my own rule here and do it more complicated anyway, because I had this thought, because this is a favor mission, right?
Yeah.
And I think she tells you that make sure he comes back. It's not only because he's gonna be a powerful force, but make sure that his curse. And she looks at the banner. I think his curse will be the key to take down the Black Oak Knights.
Yeah, and in that back to that morning, I look at Emilio and I pull it out and hand that, and it shows part of the Black Oak Knights emblem, and I go, can we redirect the curse to this? And then we can jump back into the present, maybe? Unless we want to discuss more about it.
No. I'm fine with jumping back into the present. Let's see what effect it actually has.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. No, you don't have to. You don't have to mark anything, Joel.
Okay.
This
Just
is
making sure.
all the asset from the officer. So you we haven't seen this banner, right? Did you so far? Did some of the rookies hide it somewhere? You don't want to go with the banner of the Black Oak Knights to meet the Kingfisher, right? So, or where did you store it?
I think Emilio had it because he was on that mission and was like involved in making the little Black Hawk or Black Oak like scarecrow. So I think he probably had it and has been like carrying it.
Yeah,
I little like, hate token.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's not a banner, but if they've got these big suits of armor and they have like a tabard or a cape or something that they wear along with it, that seems like a cooler thing to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Voice, he like looks over at it and he says, and I think he like oh, and I think he smiles a little bit. Well, that is clever. I didn't think that's the only living humans I would accept exchanging this curse with. Where did you get this?
That is a
We
story.
killed one.
Yeah, and I think he looks over at you and it just like nods. Well, for a bonfire then. And I put up 2 clocks. It's 1 6 clock for lift the curse and 1 6 clock for voice overcome by curse. So basically those are racing clocks. Whichever fills first wins. So what are you doing to lift the curse here? Who's taking charge of this?
I'm not sure what kind of skill would it be.
I mean, you decide.
Yeah, I'm asking what people think, I guess.
I think this the Kingfisher definitely would benefit from a proper, very getting a proper physical examination, and that's the start of this. And maybe like a washing in the pond, and that might be enough to justify doctor as a skill here. But probably you maybe choose someone to assist you in that.
Yeah, I was thinking doctor, or maybe
we will
possibly
need
research.
More than one, yeah, we will need more than one role here, though. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of leeway for you to do things here. Actually, I don't know how this might look. There is pond here. There's an altar of the hunter god here. There's blood of an animal. There could be a lot of things. You could be medical doing things. You could be strapping him into the altar or whatever. There's a lot of, and I'm down to.
And this may be a racing clock, but this could go on for 2 days as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I also kind of like the idea that the officer can use discipline.
Yeah, to hold mass.
Well, and to basically if this is a complicated and painful procedure, this is the just ordering him to hold it together.
Yeah.
Push the curse out of you or whatever, this is going to hurt, bite down on the leather kind of thing.
Yeah.
But my suggestion is we start with something that is more controlled and then ramp it up to those things. But it's definitely a cool suggestion to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And we also still have someone here who's fond of eating corruption.
Maybe start with Rig to set up the altar and just the situation to the operating table kind of.
Yeah.
To just to get started, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I think it would sound like this is control, but I don't think it is. It's not. So what the consequence here is, it's risky, I think. And what is risky about it is that I'm gonna put you in a bad situation if this is not a good role. You don't rig it properly or whatever, and then suddenly in the middle of the thing he's loose and you're
Okay.
Rookie.
Would anybody like to help?
Yeah, Aurora is hey, Rookie, stop staring. Help the doctor out.
Yes, sir. And I'll step up and.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he takes off his armor thing, and he just is in his a very light woolen shirt, and I think you see this this black spot in the middle of his chest, almost pulsating with his heartbeats. Well, this will not be comfortable, but I'll be happy to die on the altar of Gerholtz.
Okay. So, like, rig. Risky.
And it's standard effect.
Standard.
I'll spend a stress to give you a helper die here.
Okay.
And that's just following orders. You tell me what to do, and I'm moving stuff around, and as you're.
Yeah, I don't think Emilio has any problem bossing you around. He's like,
Yep.
okay, you put that there,
Mm-hmm.
And
the stress is me just nervous that I did everything right, because all I'm doing is following orders without having any idea how any of this works. So, yeah.
Could I get any kind of extra bonus if I use the use of the medic kit to kind of apply anesthetic or anything like that, sort of to help the situation go a little bit more smoothly,
or to improve your effect?
Yeah,
that's probably what. Do we find stuff?
Sure. I don't think you get any extra. No, I don't think so. You use the medikit to protect yourself from some kind of consequences. So,
okay.
Spend for special armor against disease, wound, complications. So if something like that happened, you could use it to negate them.
Okay.
Retroactively.
All right.
Could I've got camping gear. Would laying out bedrolls, and if we've got rope that we need or something like that, would that help with all of this at all?
Well, you haven't been pushing yourself, right? So if you wanted to, Joel, for the med kit, if you want to have a devil's bargain, I can give it to you. You use your whole med kit to do that, and you don't have any uses of it for the rest of the mission. For an extra die.
No, I don't know if I'm gonna take that. It seems like it sounds better to have it to resist with, because it seems like it would be applicable if things go wrong, possibly.
Yeah, it would.
So risky, standard, 1. Okay. 4.
Mm-hmm.
You do it, but there's a consequence, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that consequence for now, I think.
Okay.
What happens in the fiction?
How do you?
You can't really, because I might want to. Well, I could resist it later, right?
Okay, sure. So I think what it is that you have to find out that if you want to strap him up on this very blank sheet of stone, you have to do it very harshly, so he takes 2 harm.
That seems very harshly.
It's a risky consequence.
So he's fighting it or something?
No, you see the ropes gnawing into his flesh.
So just as a player, so I understand what's going on, he takes a level 2 harm slot, is what happens there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it doesn't 2 harm is not
okay,
the same as I'm trying to make sure I understand how the game works.
So
he fills in one of those level 2 harm boxes is basically what happens, right?
Yeah, and since he's going to be a possible player character or a Legion character, that would be I don't think it happens right now. It's not when you do it, it starts cutting. But when he starts moving, it's definitely going to hurt him.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. the procedure will end up being like when we get him back, we'll have.
Yeah, and that will happen like either way. Like if he's gonna start moving in and like very much, and it's gonna hold him. It's gonna work, but it's gonna take harm because it's not
pulling against the ropes. Yeah.
So could I resist that, like with the medicine kit, to kind of like
that's exactly what you could do.
All right. I would like.
Get you right up for that.
To do that then.
Cool. How do you do it?
I think he kind of before anything even really starts, I think Emilio notices that maybe just out of like nervousness, he's getting kind of like twitchy and restless, and he can see where the straps would be putting like too much pressure on him. So he like just opens up the kit and uses the some of the gauze to make like extra like padding between the like under his head, stuff like that. Like it's like he realizes it's possible that he could like jerk and like brain himself against the stone table or something like that, and just make it a little more comfy.
Cool. And I think he like as you're putting the things under his head, he like lifts his head up and puts it down, and like you see him very like focused, staring up. But as you like are about to leave, he says, "I don't have so much to thank you if I live, but if I die, there's some nice alcohol in my packet. You should take it."
Emilio kind of like pats his head and he's like, "No problem, bud. You're gonna be fine, but no problem."
Cool.
Because it's use of the medical kit, there's no resist roll, or is there a resist roll? Is the medical kit just the fictional positioning to allow this?
The med kit makes it one harm instead. It's a special armor.
Okay.
Still gonna hurt a little bit, but there's not gonna be like flesh wounds or anything like that.
Aurora's like pacing up and down, and like just waiting at this as this procedure gets underway, and every now and then staring over at Anthracite. Have they like separated from the group, or?
I think Anthracite is because this ritual, this cleansing ritual, is going to take place on this altar of the hunter god. It only seems correct if we furnish this altar with fresh trophies. So I think he heads off like into the forest to like with his bow and arrow to go and basically hunt loads of sort of small animals and like bring them back to decorate the altar with.
This sounds to me like a setup role.
Yeah.
What action rating are you using?
I think action rating. What
skill?
Skill. Oh, I think that would definitely be my scout, because it's like keeping quiet and reading the forest, just like I did when I was at home in the forest of Panya. So I think I would use my scout. So how do I do a setup action? I've not done this before.
You roll to give an extra effect on the preceding action.
Okay.
It's basically all the same. There's still going to be position and effect. So standard effect is usually all that you need, and then Emilio will get an additional level of effect.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I would see this as being very a controlled situation. It's my natural habitat. It's like maybe this is the first time I've sort of gone hunting, like kind of since like we set off for Etamok Field.
Sure.
Yeah, it almost brings a sense of like I forget about the rot for once. It's like it brings a sense of tranquility.
What about this place brings you tranquility?
The dappled sunlight kind of coming through the gently sort of moving leaves, the bird song. There's species here that I recognize from the forest at home.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, cool. Oh, where's it gone? There we go. Hey, I rolled a 4.
Okay. I think you do it. I mean, you do it, but I think just what can even be a consequence here?
Level 1 harm.
Scout. I think that
Level
it takes
1
a bit. No, I think it takes a bit longer time than you anticipated. And I'm gonna mark a section on voice overcome by curse.
Yeah, maybe it's like it feels like the forest like doesn't want me back now that I've got this blight.
Yeah,
I feel like unwelcome in the forest. You know. Actually,
I feel like I think his curse is that he spreads fear. And there's like this I think also you see the rookies also like following what happened in the first roll of this session where they are afraid of anthracite. I think you see them like chatting nervously among them.
Oh, that I want to resist that shit.
Okay, cool.
My rookers are not going to start like nervously chatting. They're going to be busy scouting and securing the area. If I see that going on, I'm like immediately like call them out and give them a task, and even if it's a senseless task.
Okay, cool.
I want to resist.
I love it. So it's not just you don't just necessarily resist like falling off a cliff or getting hit by a cannonball. So you can resist people like going against your will. Yeah, okay, cool.
Mikael names it as a consequence for your role. So.
Yeah, I love it.
I guess you gotta say which attribute. Sounds like resolve because I'm playing on
resolve.
Discipline, but yeah. Cool.
Tree stress.
They're getting on my nerves.
Yeah, and I think that I imagine like this being like a tiny flashback where you like instruct the rookies like, I mean, whatever happens, don't start talking about whatever you're thinking. Not until you get out of there.
Yeah, I think it becomes clear to all the viewers, to the rest of you, that there's a reason that Aurora gets put on missions with other veteran soldiers, because she doesn't have the discipline for these young'uns. Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Anthracite comes back from the forest with like longer than expected, but with like a big brace of like varied like woodland animals that he just he basically like sort of drapes their bloodied corpses like all over and hides all over around this altar.
So what are you going to do now to make use of this that Anthracite brought to be able to lift the curse? And who's taking the lead? Is it Emilio? Or is it a group action? I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think I could lead it, but I don't want like every role to just be like me. If anybody else has any other,
I mean,
sometimes that's how it goes.
ideas.
I mean that's
Yeah.
that's why specialists are specialists sometimes. So, and we get the chance to chime in if we want to. So
exactly. So it's
yeah,
more important.
don't sweat it. Yeah.
Okay.
More important if you have a
yeah,
fictional
no,
idea, do that.
Munchkin the shit out of this, Joel. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think like you should all probably chime in on like how this looks, like with this ritual.
I mean, I could have sent one of the rookies towards the trees over there and collect young flexible branches, because maybe part of the ritual is like ritually beating the curse out of him. Right? Like making that a part of it, like giving him that a second level 1 arm with what are they called?
Like switches.
Yeah, exactly. So then there's even like a good fictional reason where I send someone to cut off like young branches of a specific type of tree. And then we're like tying them up.
And where's the banner? Like, so
that will be the next action, wrapping him in the banner after his skin is welted.
cool. I have an idea how to do this. So if we're doing a group action, what we could do is just like establish one thing each about what the ritual is, and just like go around. What do you think about that?
I like that. It's a good idea.
Cool. So
Detail.
yeah. So who's leading the action?
This is always the question. So what I'm going for is a discipline action, right? Like it's actual discipline. So I'd be going with discipline here. And if it's a team action, then everybody has to roll discipline. So you kind of need to describe whatever you do feeds into that. Otherwise, it's going to be an assist or a separate action.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the
Okay.
others?
So we have the setup action.
Gives you extra effect. So at default, I'm gonna put. So just to, I think no matter what you do here, I'm gonna say it's desperate, but it's great effect because you got a setup action there, which means gives you 3 pies and you have 4 left. So there's a possibility here for if you're gonna navigate this mechanically. There's a possibility for there's not a possibility for you to finish it here because you can't. Well, you could all push, I guess, but that would be a lot of stress. But you could get extra die. Or someone could do it alone, and then you could push for stress.
Right. If we hit a crit again, then it would be extreme.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's 5.
That's true. So you can go for extra dice, all of you, and have better chance of, especially since Dame Aurora is leading it.
I mean, yeah, the other there's the question of lead from the front actually applies here because it says when you lead a group action, improve scale up or down 1 level.
Yeah, I think it does. It gives you scale. It gives you extra effect.
Okay. So how's this? Like how does this make everyone pull on their discipline as well? What do you all do?
So you got
So
to establish it. Yeah, go ahead.
It's you disciplining him basically.
Yeah.
So what I do is kind of while everybody is like looking at him, they're concerned, I've done my bit like set the altar up, I kind of look and like the officers are like the officer is talking to the apothecary, and I just kind of like take that moment to slip away. And I come back and I've got that bottle of liquor that he talked about. And if this is a curse about fear, we need to make sure he's not afraid while this is happening. If the fear is, we need to make sure the fear has nothing to hold on to. And so I'm just going to go up and I'm going to say, and I smile and I say to him, the last thing you swallow shouldn't be your tongue, my dumb friend. And I'm going to drizzle some of that into his mouth, and I'm going to take a swig, and we're going to alternate, and I'm going to propose a devil's bargain that I have to get drunk to do this with him.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna say it's like a level 1 harm drunk.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
This is not 20% sweet liquor.
Yeah.
This
We'll have to carry
Semiati
you
potato
back.
booze.
Yeah. So I've a level 1 buzz on as opposed to a level 2 shit faced. So yeah. Okay.
That's going to turn into 6 stress in the morning.
Yeah, and that's and I've got 0 in discipline, but I'm doing that so that I'm rolling 1 die instead of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What are the rest of you doing?
So I'd have to roll discipline. Is that correct? To join in on the group action. So I think I'm gonna threaten him. It's gonna be we're good cop, bad cop here. I think I'm like, you think you've got it bad, like with a curse, like I've got this rot, this blight pulsing inside me, and I don't give up. I don't just lay down and say, oh, I fight against it. So you need to do the same, or you're nothing. You're just a coward. I'm going to discipline in that way.
What about Emilio?
I'm just kind of trying to think of ways that I can use like some of this fancy medical stuff since I have it. Could I possibly like take a shot of that deep tonic where I can hold my breath for the scene, and that would increase like the discipline I have over like my surgeon's hands because I don't have to breathe. I can just be like very still.
Sure. Yeah, I like that.
Because Emilio's not like a doctor, right? So he's probably like, I need a little extra chemical help here.
So it works as like almost like a kind of a weird like sort of beta blocker type thing, and just like lowers your kind of like heart rate and pulse rate.
Yeah, like a mood stabilizer. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Sounds yeah. So everyone has to. Is there anyone else who wants to establish anything about what they're doing now, or are we good to roll?
I think that's up to the officer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Let's hope for the best here.
Yeah.
Let me just ask a real quick gameplay question before we roll. I'm at 3 stress. If I do another push, it'll put me to 5. Should I do that, or should I leave myself some stress, or what is the?
You already took a devil's bargain, so you can't.
That's right. I can't. Cool. Okay, got it.
Not for
that's right. Thank you.
For position, but we already.
Yeah. No. That's cool. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's where like we're still. I'm still getting into that. So thank you.
I'm good. We all ready?
Yeah.
Roll. Okay. Let's roll.
This is controlled, right?
No, it's desperate.
Desperate with
Extreme effect.
With extreme effect. Okay. And then I roll as if I have a bonus die because I've got 0, right?
Yeah, exactly. It will ask you if you get a bonus die in there. There you will say one. Yeah.
So we have success, and it's Andrea said
I
sweeping.
didn't roll.
Oh yeah.
I was just wondering, does the downing the tonic?
I think actually because what what you did doesn't really sound like discipline normally, but I think like doing that just allows you to do that instead of what the discipline role usually is, because that was so cool and metal.
Okay, so I usually just have one discipline, so it's just everything's the same. Or
okay. Yeah, there you go.
So still, so calm.
I think
awesome.
you put the finishing touches on that, like with the banner, right?
Yeah, so where is the banner in all this?
That's what I don't know. Emilio, do you want to describe it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Amelia's like had it, and maybe like everybody's like hitting him with the sticks, and Amelia kind of has you concentrated at the dark like spot on his chest, and then when it starts to kind of like draw blood, he takes the banner out and kind of like presses the banner into the blood that's coming out of this like corrupted, cursed wound.
Yeah, and I think so to like I guess say what's going on here. You hear, I mean, at first you just hear like the like not like it's just like this sounds of uncomfort from Voyous, but then when you put the and I mean this must be a lot of pain. He's getting hit. He's getting cut open. There is a curse that wants to definitely doesn't want to do this, but is still not screaming. But when you put the banner down there, it's just like you see like this. I think it's probably like this in the TV series. It's like this. You see this zoom from above, and you just like hear this so loud scream, and you see a voice just like from so you see now that like the arms is like thrashing against the ropes, and the black blood flowing out of his chest. It's almost like there's like this small pool of like black blood, like almost bubbling in the small like hole you made, and it like gets absorbed into this this banner. It doesn't even get absorbed. It's like gets sucked up like in a natural way. And I think you see the black oak is actually not black. It's a black banner, and it has like this golden edges around like this white oak that's in the banner of the Black Oak Knights on like this shield crest. But in this like moment, the tree like grows like turns completely black, and it looks like almost like it's like moving while it's when you put it up still. Like it's there's a wind in the tree and it's like moving like curving under the pressure of like a storm or something like that. And for like a second, I think actually he faints, and there's like the quiet again, and I think you can probably hear like the rustling of leaves in the small like assembly of trees that are there.
Cool.
You did it.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh, did we fill our clock?
Yeah.
Cool. How much? What was the race like? How far was he away from being?
Not a lot. It was just one tick on that other clock.
Okay.
Yeah, we did good.
Cool. So, and I think actually on the way home, I just want to say like a small color scene as he comes to life again. He comes to life again like shortly after. He's just out for like a minute or two. On the way back, I think he seeks out Yavel, and just like says to him, "Well, I'm glad that I'm still alive, that you didn't have to kill me."
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I have ever been a part of.
Perfect closing words.
Yeah, that's the end of the action here. Cool, awesome. So,
do we still roll for the secondary mission and do XP, or do we end it here?
What are you guys okay for going for 15 more minutes?
To figure out what our rewards are? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can carry on until 10:30. In half an hour, I need to leave.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so I guess secondary mission outcome comes first.
Yeah.
To get that on the table, that was...
Did we spend horses on that in the end?
we spent supply. That's what we need, right, Quartermaster?
I think it was food.
Yeah, food.
Yeah. The horse is to supply.
So, is everyone loyal? Yep. That's one die. We didn't spend any intel. Not everyone is a specialist or soldier. But we don't have leadership problems, and we've got a required specialist on there. And the Quartermaster did spend food. So that's 2 dice. Is the current pressure higher than 2?
No.
Okay, so it's 2 dice. Fingers crossed. That is a 6.
Yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Seems like you've been practicing role playing.
Yeah.
Well done. Who was it that led that secondary mission?
That's Tempest.
Oh,
the other scout. So you succeed at the mission. All specialists take level 1 harm. This is a success, right? You succeed at the mission. All specialists take level 1 harm, and you may choose 2 squad members and promote a rookie to soldier. Note that these squad members count for morale. And you may choose... Oh, okay. So I've got a choice to make. You succeed at the mission. All specialists take level 1 harm. And you may choose to lose 2 squad members and promote a rookie to soldier. Wow.
Tough choice for the marshal.
I mean...
Morale's at 9 right now, right?
Yeah.
Also, so here's the other question. Does Paul bank dead rookies
Yeah, they go. Their name goes on the list. So when it gets filled up to the next,
when it fills up to 8? What are we at right now?
we're at 5 at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well,
So yeah, Janton Beher and Fulon Pober die on that mission. And maybe we find out next time how they died.
which squad is that?
Grinning Ravens.
Of course.
Yeah.
They already lost 7 rookies.
Cursed squad.
Hard luck Ravens. Yeah.
Could you tell me what rookies died again? I need to put them in the annals.
Yeah. You can see it. It's.
Oh yeah, you just added them. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
those 2 that are not the bottom 5.
Yeah.
That have the death symbol.
Yep. Cool. Got that.
And I'll think about who I promote to soldier off the other. That I can do that in between. One of those is going to be.
And the specialists get XP.
And the specialist, yes.
They get 2 XP for surviving the mission.
Yeah.
Either way.
Either way. And also level 1 harm. I need to remember that. Oh, I marked
And
it down.
you'll do all that stuff, Matthias?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I guess we lose 2 morale, right? Because 2 people died.
Yep.
Yep.
But we gain 2 supply, yo.
Yeah, so let's do the mission rewards. So, you get 2 supply from the supply mission. From the special mission, you also get a favor. So we're gonna put a tick on the Horned One's clock here to advance. And you also get 1 religious supplies.
Okay.
All specialists on the mission mark 2 XP. And now Boris Karyevich is a member of the Legion.
Yeah.
And remember, Matthias, he has 1 harm.
And Mikhail,
he has
you'll
1 harm.
Mikhail, you'll add his sheet, or
Matthias will.
I can't add the sheet.
Fisher.
I'll add a sheet, yes. But, yes.
And then we do advancement for the specialist on the mission.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just start because I've got it open. Everyone marked their desperate actions during play. I think we tried that in chat. So then, if you survived the mission, I get 1 for that. If you helped your squad through enforcing discipline or strategic planning, enforcing discipline, right? That's where my stress came from. If you brought into play your heritage or trauma. I mean, it's the first time we saw her on screen and what she's like, so yeah. Look at her, she's got the traits vengeful and stern, so so that's 3. And what was the threat level here? Was there even 1, or how does this work?
The threat level is 3.
Okay, so that's 6. I'm gonna fill up 1 prowess. That's 4. And actually both resolve and prowess. I'm gonna fill up.
Cool. What about the rest of you? Got some XP?
Yes. I can go next.
Yep.
Sure.
Do it.
Okay. So I survived the mission. So there's 1. Helps the squad through medical knowledge or emotional comfort. Definitely used a lot of medical knowledge. If I brought into play my heritage or trauma, I tried to bring in vengeful with him having the banner on him.
That was cool.
And then per highest threat of opponent faced is 3. So
Mm-hmm.
and then another 2 just for the kind of mission it was. So that's like 8.
Yep.
And I'll just mark that on the sheet, I guess.
Yeah, cool. The rookie.
All right. I get 1 XP if I survive the mission,
Yep.
which I did. I get 1 XP if I help my squad by staying out of the way or surviving despite the odds.
Oh man, yeah. I think I would give. That's like when he walks up to you. You don't want really in life danger, but it's such a on-brand thing. For
Oh
that.
yeah. Like I'm like like I said, looking at that hand on my shoulder. Like, is he about to rip my arm off? No, he's gonna laugh. Good. So that was a great moment. I really like that. If you brought into play your heritage or trauma, I definitely brought my heritage into play. I did that blood oath with him, that Yadi blood oath. So I'm going to take 1 for that. And then 1 per highest threat of opponent faced, and that's 3. 1, 3, and 2 more, and I'm not a rookie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the other rookies that came along don't get anything. They're just...
Oh, actually, for the mission, it's only +2 XP for specialists on the mission.
Okay. Yeah.
So not for the rookie. Cool. So, and then lastly, Anthracite.
Yeah, so I survived the mission. I helped my squad through my stealth by stealthing through the forest. If I brought into play my heritage or trauma, so yeah, I definitely brought into my Panyar sort of like heritage of hunting in the forest. And then the trauma, does that count as like the rot, like the blight, or is that just literally like the stress trauma?
Trauma is kind of a special thing, the one above.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I didn't think so. Yeah, not that. So
yeah, that's marking a trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then so 3 threat.
Yep.
So yeah, that takes me up to level up.
Nice.
Cool.
And then we have bookkeeping. So we already marked -1 morale for each legionnaire that died, right?
Yes.
And then there is +1 pressure for the mission you didn't do. But then for the rewards, there's +2 supply. You already marked that, right? No? Yeah. And all right, we already did that, right? Cool. So, and also the heavy voice has +2 actions.
What does that mean?
You can 2+ stats, dots that you can assign. Awesome.
Cool.
And then if we have time for a back at camp scene here, if you want to, lore keeper.
Do we have time?
Maybe not. We can do it starting with it the next time.
Yeah, let's start with it the next time. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Yeah.
Cool.
A little reflection on how that secondary mission went would also be nice then.
Yeah,
We can
sure.
that,
Yeah.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could run that in the free play scene, couldn't we? Almost?
Yeah, it'd be cool. Like, how did you manage to fuck that up? You were just going to a farm to get some.
We didn't fuck it.
Yeah, you didn't. That's even. Oh yeah, that's.
4.
God damn it.
Yeah. It's a 6. It's a full success.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you know, there was this farm. There's no undead. There's a bunch of stuff there, and this bunch of bandits from the city had the same idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. No. I thought there weren't any undead there. Yeah, there weren't. But we weren't the only ones that knew that. Yeah.
I think this says an awful lot about like the higher command of the Legion, that they see it as a resounding success, but 2 like rookies like died basically. It's like, you know, the ends justify the means in a way.
Well, we'll see. You know, we can have a conversation about how resounding a success they think it is. So.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Awesome. So also before we take our goodbyes here, Commander, next session, do you want to advance?
Oh yeah, we will be moving on up the road to the Sunstrider camp.
Yeah.
Does that
cool.
do I get another campaign action here in Plainsworth, or?
Yeah, you do. Okay. But it's just for my mission preparation.
Okay.
So if you want to move to Sunstrider, let's see here. I'm gonna just find Sunstrider here real quick, because now we're at the fork, right? So we're going.
Yep.
So the mission types available here is assault and recon. Which one do you want to focus
on? We've got no.
You got no intel.
We've got no intel, so I can't really. It would be recon. We've got no intel, so it's going to be recon.
Yeah. Cool. So then that's what I need to know. So I think that's it for
And let me be super clear. Provisionally, it's recon. If you present us with like an assault mission that we can't turn down, but like that's I think recon is the one we want, but I'm not committing until I actually see what we've got.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to explain how that works actually. So there is a random table of where I roll 1d6. There is one of every type. So supply, recon, assault, and religious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the commander's choice, commander's focus, and then there's the GM's choice.
Oh my god.
So,
focus. That being the case, focus on recon.
Yeah, so you get a double chance. So you might have noticed already that just because you focus on it doesn't mean that you get it.
Yeah.
Imagine how we're going to totally wreck like any like assault missions though with both Val and the Kingfisher.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to seeing the Kingfisher played by you. I had such a great time playing him.
Oh my god, they'll be like the best tag team ever, like the Legion of Doom Extreme.
Yeah.
I provisionally ship it.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. So that was this session. We'll be back. Well, maybe not next week. We'll see. There's some logistics things coming.
Yeah, I won't be here next week, I'm afraid.
The shippers I know are not shipping Val and the Kingfisher.
I also ship Val and every woman.
Well, it's I'm sorry. The shippers I know are not shipping the Kingfisher and Val. They're shipping the Kingfisher and his stupid friend. So yeah.
Yeah. So
I support that too.
Yeah. I'm all about this thing that's going on here with who's going to be able to go with the Kingfisher or Val. I don't know. It's a competition. Both of them probably. Somebody has to talk with the marshal. But I'll whichever week it's going to be, where the next one is, I'll put it on my Twitter, which you'll find here at Mikael Tusve on Twitter. And my name is Mikael. This is my channel. I had a great time playing this, and I'm super hyped to play next session. I just have to say, because I had like a little wish last time that I might play some not undead characters. So I had a really great time playing the Kingfisher, so thank you for choosing that mission, Commander. I am very grateful. Maybe I'll roll some good dice for you next time.
It was a really good mission. So, like, we come back with a leveled up specialist. That's great.
Yeah, you're starting to pile up on some specialists right now. What about you, Paul? You want to take a little outro?
Yeah, sure. I'm Paul. You can find me on Twitter at Marshall Stacks. I loved it today. I'm really happy to go adventuring with my dumb Legion friends. And yeah, only 2 dead rookies away from another story, to tune in next week. Cool. Joelle?
Yeah. I'm Joelle. At DineJoelle on Twitter. I also had a lot of fun today. Turns out somebody has died, so Jim's background was appropriate. So yeah, looking forward to see how we work with the Kingfisher and all of that. Yeah, Jim, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jim Crocker. You can find me on Twitter at JimLikesGames. I've got a website, JimLikesGames.com. We can read stuff that I write about games, or even buy one of these games that's right behind me, right here. One of these very games, which I will pack with my own hands and mail to your house. So feel free to go ahead and do that. I've also got a podcast called Just Played, where I talk about game sessions that I have been a player or a GM in, and I really like this one, and I think I may talk about this one. I hadn't talked about Band of Blades in one of my podcasts yet because I didn't think I really had a handle on, but this went really well. And this one I can talk about without being embarrassed how badly our mission went. So looking forward to it, and really looking forward to getting up the road and seeing what happens next. So
yeah, because you're going to take the crowded road now, so it's going to be interesting.
We are headed for the deep forest, brother.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little sneak preview of what's going on. We've got we have the horned one with us.
Yeah, with the horned one, we got to go through that forest.
She's going to cover our ass going through there. We're golden. We've got her with us, so we're going to skate right through there.
Famous last words.
No, it's guaranteed. Just smooth sailing right through the woods full of gigantic ancient beasts.
Yeah, that sounds. What about you, Matthias? Where can we find you?
You can find me at mthsblgr on Twitter. I'm excited where that road leads. But I'm also super hyped how tonight went, because it was fun to have like a little character shuffle around, and it's always awesome to see new rookies come up. They're all very green, but they're also different. I like it. It's so much fun. And it's gonna hurt if one of those sometime, like, knock on wood, none of those have died yet. So
Jim writes down.
yeah.
Put those beloved rookies in danger. Awesome. That's all for tonight, folks. See you next time.